Hey guys, hope you're having an awesome day. We are overdue for a Q&A. It's been a long time since I've answered your guys' questions, and so I asked on my most recent Instagram post if you guys had any questions for me, and I will try to go through as many as I can and answer them today. So I've got my phone charging up right now. Okay, we're gonna start with Christina's question. Would you ever like to have kids? That is one of my most frequently asked questions right there. And makeup collection soon? I can definitely do a makeup collection with you guys. I would love to, in fact, right after I get it organized. Right now, literally, all of my makeup is sitting on a little tiny table in front of me. I don't have any drawers yet. I don't have a vanity or any kind of setup or organization, but as soon as I do, I would love to share it with you guys. So definitely. The first part of that question was, would you ever like to have kids? No, that's the question I've gotten a lot since I've been on YouTube. Yeah, I've just never had that internal feeling like I want to have kids, you know what I mean? Like ever since I was young, it's never been there for me. I just don't have that sort of connection with them, I guess. But animals, I am like, yes, I'm all about being a fur baby parent, or even if it doesn't have fur. I mean, give me an iguana and I will baby the heck out of that thing. So I guess that's pretty much it. And I guess I feel like there's so many people on the planet that I just never felt really the need to add to the population. But yeah, it's just, I guess, a very personal kind of thing. It's a very personal decision for sure. And it's really interesting. Some people will almost like try to force the idea on you of having kids. There's usually like around an age where people start saying, oh, don't you want to have kids? And it's like, no, I don't. I really don't. And they're like, oh, you'll change your mind later on. And I'm like, no, still, yeah, TikTok, not changing my mind. Okay, let's get on to the next question. Alicia asks, my question for you is, when you stopped working to start your jewelry business, did you still have to do some other form of work while you were in the process of getting your name out there? And what things did you have to do to grow your following or customer base, I'm guessing that is. I worked my full-time job before I quit. So I was working my full-time job. I started my business, jewelry business, back in 2005, and I was working full-time at a retail sports shop. It was very boring job, but I was doing that full-time while I started my jewelry business. And I didn't quit that job until I felt like my business was stable enough and going to be able to sustain me and be able to help pay our bills and our rent and everything. Like getting your name out there and what sort of things I did to initially start growing the business. I worked all my weekends, I worked all evenings. Anytime that I had any downtime from my regular job, I was working on my business to get it off the ground. So I did every single farmer's market, every single craft fair. That's how I started, by the way, I was just hand making jewelry, just little bits. I started like super small, literally with a ball of hemp and one strand of vintage beads. And that's how I started the business, because I didn't have any money to actually be able to invest in it. So yeah, it was a pretty small beginnings. But yeah, that's how I got going. Just putting your name out there by showing up every place possible. And back then there was no social media, right? There was no YouTube, that didn't exist yet. And so it was all about networking and being in person, just showing up and meeting as many people as possible and letting them find out about your work and what you're doing. And the more people that would purchase from you and be wearing your art or your jewelry or whatever it is that you're creating, the more people, friends and coworkers would see that, and then they'd find out about you, and then word of mouth just kind of spread from there. So yeah, it was different times back before social media or YouTube or any of that. In fact, I'm wearing some pieces right now. Yes, I have the moon phases pendant and a really cool new Saturn, little sterling silver Saturn pendants. And yeah, let's see, moonstone. I'm very into moonstone. But yeah, I'll be having, in fact, I'll post my links down below. I usually do, but it's modernbohemian.us is my website. It's very small right now. But next time the next gym show comes around, I'm going to be loading like a ton of new things on there. And I have a bunch of crystals, and yeah, I have drusies. Oh yeah, the drusies. I have loose druzy stones that I need to turn into jewelry, and those will be on there very soon too. The next question is from Shared Light. Have you ever had Botox or fillers? No, I have not. I know that when I was first on YouTube, I used to get that question all the time, do you have Botox? Because I wouldn't smile as much. And the reason for that was because my teeth were so crooked before I had my Invisalign, that every time that I would smile, even the slightest bit, I would get the nastiest comments on here. So I just kind of like would do like very stone face, and now I look at those videos, I'm like, oh my gosh, how embarrassing, right? But anyway, it is what it is. If you guys didn't realize how weird I am already, I'm gonna say this and just like confirm it right here for you. I like wrinkles on people. I think they can be very attractive. And I know that it's a characteristic of people's faces that I am very attracted to personally, whether it's on men or women. I feel like, especially if it's like smile lines of some sort, crow's feet, there's these little kind of nuances that the face has that I find just super attractive. And I don't think that it's always necessary to stifle that. I do think that those nuances that are in your face are something that you carry from your life. It's like the experiences that you've had throughout your life, they kind of make up your face, And so I feel like if you have smile lines and crow's feet and things like that, it sort of shows what your life has been, and you carry that sort of joy with you. And it's reflected in your face and your crow's feet and everything. But I'm sure we've all noticed in recent years, especially on social media, it has become a very popular, common kind of thing to get Botox or injections or lip injections. A lot of people are doing it now, and I have absolutely no judgment. Even though it's not something that I want to do for myself, I think that everyone should be able to do whatever they want with their body, right? And no one has a right to say otherwise. Kat Mickelson asks, how do you maintain a sense of direction, motivation, and discipline in your life? Well, we could do an entire video on just this topic alone. So how do you maintain a sense of direction? One thing I want to say about that is I feel like a lot of us feel a super intense amount of pressure to know our direction or know our passion in life, as if there is only one for us. But actually, I think there can be many directions for us and many passions. And in fact, the more passions you have can almost be a little more confusing, because you feel like maybe you're only supposed to have one direction, but yet you're interested in all kinds of things. So what I would say with that part of the question is, pick one and start small. Don't feel like you have to know your direction, or know your passion early on in life. You might change and grow along the way, and you can take one path and it might lead you to something else. And as long as you keep growing and bettering yourself, you're gonna stay on the right path for you. So if you're in a place where you don't know your direction, start small. Pick one thing that you're at least kind of passionate about and sort of move in that direction and just see where it takes you. But don't feel the intense pressure to know everything all at once, like where you're supposed to be going. Motivation, how do you keep motivated? Exercise, I would say, is my number one thing for that, because waking up in the morning and having an exercise routine has been one of the best ways. I call it my number one antidepressant too, because it does amazing things for your body, not just on the outside, not just for your physique, but inside and out. And it makes you feel more powerful. It makes you feel stronger from the inside out, and it makes you feel like you can tackle a lot more during your day when you get that rush of endorphins first thing in the morning. So that's one major way that I've always been able to pick up my motivation. Even if, we all have ups and downs where sometimes we're just not, maybe we're in a funk, we're not feeling our best, or maybe we've been through a lot of emotional stress or something lately. Definitely working out and getting that feeling of empowerment back to you helps pick you up, it lifts you up and kind of puts you back together again, where you feel like you can go and tackle anything. And discipline can be approached in the same sort of way. It takes discipline to have a workout routine that you're sticking to and to make yourself work out each time. And that can overflow into other areas of your life. So if you just have one area of your life, because sometimes it can be too much to focus on everything that we have to do, right? Everything we have to do during that week or even in that day or on our to-do list, it can be overwhelming, and then we feel like so hard on ourselves and so bummed out because we're not getting enough done. But if you just take a little piece, just a little bite at a time, and get it done, it's going to make you feel like you're able to accomplish more, and then a little more, and then a little more. And before you know it, you've tackled everything on your to-do list that you needed to get done. So I find that, starting small, little wins can make a big difference. Okay, the next question is from Pineapple Living. How do you keep your smile so white and bright? Well, thank you. I used Zoom whitening from the dentist office back towards the beginning of the year, and it worked wonders. I definitely recommend that. Although right now, actually, as I'm saying this, I actually don't know if it's cruelty-free or not. That's a really good question. I'd have to find out about that. I just got it from my dentist office. It's what they recommended, so I just used what they recommended. And it was the least strength, like there was 3 different strengths. And you could also do in-office Zoom whitening too, which was much more expensive. I just did it was like $50 for a package of 3 syringes, and you just apply little tiny dots in your trays, and I just used them with my Invisalign trays. So yeah, that whitened about pretty good. But yeah, as a full-time coffee and tea drinker, I need to get back to another round of the Zoom whitening, or I don't know, I might try another kind this time. I've heard of Snap White too, so I might try that. We'll see. Or if you guys have a brand of whitening that you recommend, let me know in the comments below. Okay, Chris asks, where do you see your channel going in the next few years? That's a really good question. That's one that I have thought about, but I still don't have the answer to. I feel like a lot of us YouTubers have probably pondered that, like, what are we trying to do with our channel? We all want to produce valuable content for you guys, but it doesn't always work out that way. But I keep trying. I want to produce, I want to be of value, I want to be of use to you guys. So I'm always trying to think of, okay, what's the next thing that I need to do for you guys, and what do you enjoy? So yeah, if you have any requests, leave them in the comments below. One thing I do know for sure is I just love making videos. I love being on here with you guys. Been doing this since 2011 and I still love it to this day. I love being able to share just life with you guys. So I guess I see my channel as always being a lifestyle channel. Okay, sorry about that. My camera just shut off in the middle of nowhere and I was like, wait, we're not filming. Okay, where did we leave off? So what I really enjoy sharing, like what I'm really passionate about on here, is storage and organization ideas, DIY projects to help save you guys money, you know, food ideas, because we all need help with our menu ideas sometimes, and really just sharing lifestyle ideas with you guys. That's how I see my channel, and just being always a variety, and you never know what's going to happen on here. Speaking of never knowing what's going to happen on here, who even knows what's going to happen with YouTube? YouTube's gotten to such a weird place, hasn't it? I mean, what is it nowadays? Like, it's so weird, like what they're doing with people's content, and they seem to be very, you know, they're really cracking down, they're really getting extremely strict on what content you're able to put out, and even like what you can say in videos, I feel like. So yeah, as long as they don't kick me off here, I guess, then I'll keep making videos for you guys. Would you ever do a meetup? I would love to do a meetup. I think it would be so much fun to go on like a big road trip across the US and do meetups all over. Where would you guys travel next, or where will you guys travel next? Probably up to Sedona. I think that's gonna be our next round, because we're only 3 hours away, and so we can just zip up there and go do like a weekend in Sedona and go hiking and stuff. So that would be really fun. And I would definitely film that with you guys. And can you do a skincare routine video? Yes, definitely. Right now I'm in the process of testing out some different products from a new line, so I'm gonna see how those go. I'll do a video though. I have another video coming of that experience, so I'll share that with you guys, but I'm still in the process of kind of putting together a new routine, because it's so different from, you know, the tropics, and the high humidity is so different from where I am now. So I definitely found that I had to change up my routine and what I was using. But I will keep you guys updated on that for sure. The Picky Ginger asks, how do you like Tucson so far? I love it. It's awesome. The weather is killer. I love the blue sky every day. The mountains are beautiful. The sunsets are some of the best I've ever seen. And yeah, it's a pretty cool place. I also love the gym shows come here too, so I'm looking forward to that. Is it too soon to miss Maui, or is there anything you miss? Okay, so aside from friends, what do you think the #1 thing would be that I would miss? Chickens. I love chickens and I miss my babies so much. I love them, and I've only seen chickens once since I've been in Tucson, which is sad. You don't get to see chickens running all over the place like you do in Hawaii. That is the #1 thing I miss. I know you might think that it would be the beaches or the water or something. Nope, it's definitely the chickens. Okay, Stacy asks, what is your favorite thing about where you're living now? The weather, the low humidity specifically, the blue sky, crystal clear blue sky every day year round, and the low humidity. It feels so good on my skin. I love it. What shampoo brand do you use? All right, so this is what I use. It's Pureology. It's their shampoo and conditioner from their Hydrate line. I love this stuff so much. It's the best shampoo and conditioner I've ever used in my entire life. It is a little bit pricier, but I found that it's so worth it because I only use a tiny amount compared to most other shampoos and conditioners where I have to use like a gob of it, at least the conditioner, to actually get through my hair, because I have super thick hair and it's long and I'm growing it out. So yeah, this stuff goes a long way. The old favorite I was using was Desert Essence, but that wasn't very good for color treated hair. It would kind of pull the color, lift the color out of your hair so quickly. So that's why I ended up, playing around and trying out some other products, and that's how I discovered this one, which is safe for color treated hair, highlighted hair, and everything. Yeah, so that stuff is awesome. Next question is, are you still a minimalist, and are you going to get a dog or a cat, and are you still going to travel? No, and yes. So we are still going to travel whenever possible anyway, in between work. And are you going to get a dog or a cat? Nope, no plans to get a dog or a cat. In fact, no animals right now at all, because we do want to travel. And so I need to have that freedom. I don't want to get an animal and then I'm taken off on it. You know what I mean? I want to be more stable and, you know, rooted down before I have an animal again. But I definitely plan to in the future, because I really miss having babies as in animals. Are you still a minimalist? Oh, that is a good question. I've answered this before last year sometime. I don't consider myself a minimalist because there's too many areas of my life where it does not fit in, like it will not align with minimalism. My work, for one, I'm all about, you know, jewelry and stones, and I've got a lot of them, and I don't plan to change that at all. And there's other areas, like I enjoy sharing products with you guys and playing with makeup with you. And I found that a lot of people find that goes against minimalism as well. So there's like a lot of people that feel that minimalism is more like black and white. You either are or you aren't. So yeah, on the black and white scale, if minimalism was white and hoarder was black, I'm somewhere in the 50 shades of gray. Like, I don't want to be an extreme on either end. I think I've always been searching for kind of that sweet spot, and I think that it's going to be very different for each person, because it's very subjective to what you do in your life. For example, I like to garden, and so for some people, they might look at that, you know, minimalists might look at that, how many plants I have, and they'd be, you are crazy, you have way too many plants, that has nothing to do with minimalism. And I'd have to agree, yeah, I probably have too many plants, but I'm not going to change that because it's a hobby and I really enjoy it. So I definitely find that there is a sweet spot with each area of your life, and you don't want to put yourself in a box, especially when other people are going to have expectations that you stay in that box. And sometimes I'm going to want to share a haul with you guys, not a haul every single week. And with that, you know, it's not my intention to promote consumerism, but I do like to share cool things with you guys. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. Okay, the next question is, what's your favorite vegan restaurant? This is from Gypsy Jess. Okay, favorite vegan restaurant in Arizona so far. I would say in Phoenix on 7th Street, Nami's is amazing. Oh my gosh, just thinking about they have this McBagel sandwich that is just, it's so killer. I could like eat one right now. I just want to like hold it in my hand. I want it to magically appear right now. Oh man, they are so good. I wish I could learn how to make those at home. Maybe I'll try that one time, but they're super, super good. But in Tucson, there's Chimerico. They're not an all vegan restaurant, they're vegetarian, but you can have like anything vegan on their menu, and they change it up all the time. It's super good and so like packed full of flavor and spices and everything. It's really, really good. That's Chimerico's if you ever get a chance, but they're packed all the time. They're so busy like every day. Yeah, but I think they're expanding though into the next door. Like they're going to take over another spot right next door to them. So hopefully they do that soon, because it's like too crazy busy every time we try to go. And there used to be Veg Box too, but they ended up closing down their store, and now they just have a food truck, and I never know where they are. So I might have to track them down again sometime too. Amy Lynn asks, or she says, I'm child free too, new at 32. When did you realize that you didn't want kids? When I was a teenager, I guess, or when I was a kid, I guess. It was never like in me, you know, when like the rest of your friends are wanting to babysit and they want to hold, you know, friends' babies and stuff, and I was just like, no, thanks, I'm good. We have so many more questions to get to, you guys, but the next one has to do with veganism, and I think I'm going to save that until the next video. We'll do another Q&A too, and we'll just kind of we'll break these up in little sections until I can answer all your guys' questions. Okay, before I let you guys go, I do have a favor to ask of you. I entered a decor contest with MOBA globes. They're, you know, that moon globe I have that spins around, solar powered. So I entered a contest with them, with my globe. I wanted to ask if you guys would be willing to go and vote for mine. You'll see my picture there if you recognize the living room. It's like the really white one, and I've got like the, you know, the curvature of the earth art in the background, and my little white space age table there, and the globe is sitting on the table with some pine cones. Anyways, you'll see which one it is. It's got my name on there too, I think. But yeah, if you would be willing to go and vote for me, you can also be entered to win a globe for yourself too. So you're automatically entered, and I think that would be awesome to have one of you guys win one of these globes too. So I will post the link below, and if you want to check that out and go and vote, that would be awesome. The contest ends tomorrow. So I will let you guys go for now, and if you have any more questions for me to include in these Q&A videos, leave them in the comments below, and I will see you guys then. Bye.